It was a frosty winter evening in Manhattan. The snowflakes fluttered gently onto the streets like forgotten memories, and inside the elegant Michelin star restaurant, Maison Belle, the clink of silverware and soft jazz filled the air. Among the sea of suited guests and polished staff, a frail older woman moved between the tables. Her uniform was crisp, but her eyes carried the weight of decades. Her name tag read Martha. She was clearing glasses when she noticed a tall man enter, broad-shouldered, dressed in a dark navy overcoat, eyes scanning the room. The maitre d' greeted him with deference, guiding him to the VIP section. The man was none other than Daniel Whitmore, tech billionaire and CEO of the globally renowned company, Nexitech. Daniel wasn't a man who sought out the limelight, his presence was usually felt in stock markets and TED Talks, not in paparazzi photos. But tonight was different. He was there to celebrate a merger, a necessary evil, he'd told himself. Business was business. As Martha walked past his table to serve champagne, her hand trembled, and a glass nearly tipped. Daniel looked up instinctively, and froze. "Martha," he whispered. She stopped. He stood up, staring, blinking as if chasing a memory long buried. "Is it really you?" Her eyes widened. "Daniel, little Danny." Her voice cracked with disbelief. Time seemed to collapse between them. 30 years ago, she had been his nanny, not just the caretaker of a rich man's son, but his safe haven in a home filled with loneliness. Daniel pulled out a chair for her. "No, I'm still on shift," she said, embarrassed. "Please," he insisted. She sat, still stunned. "You raised me. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you." What happened?" Tears welled up in her eyes. "Life happened. After your family moved, I took care of other children. Then my husband passed away. Medical bills, bad investments. Now I work here. But it's okay. I'm grateful to still be working." Daniel's heart ached. She had once sung him to sleep during thunderstorms, stitched his torn shirts, and defended him from his cold, distant parents. And now she was a waitress. But what Daniel didn't know was that someone else at the restaurant had noticed this reunion, Victoria Langston. Victoria, the senior vice president of acquisitions at Nexitech, had long nursed ambitions of becoming CEO. When she saw Daniel's eyes welling up in his warm reunion with a waitress, her lips curled into a sneer. Later that night, Victoria approached Daniel. "You seemed distracted, sir." He raised an eyebrow. "That waitress, I saw you speaking with her. If I may say so, it's important not to let sentiment get in the way of high-stakes decisions. Perception matters." Daniel stared at her, unimpressed. "Thanks for your concern, Victoria." But her words lingered in the air. Not because he agreed, but because it reminded him of the world he'd built. Sharp edges, cold meetings, calculated mergers, and how far he'd drifted from the warmth that Martha had once given him. That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. Memories of Martha's lullabies, her laughter, her comforting hand on his back when his parents argued in the other room, all of it flooded back. He knew he had to do something. The next day, he returned to Maison Belle. This time, with purpose. "Martha, I'd like to offer you something." She blinked. "Daniel, I can't take. I'm not offering you charity. I'm offering partnership. You once gave me a future. Now, let me give you a legacy." He pulled out papers for a foundation, the Martha Grace Foundation, focused on supporting retired caregivers, elderly workers, and single women who had spent their lives in service. "I want you to be its heart," he said. "You'll have a team. A home. A purpose." She covered her mouth, shaking. "But, why me?" Daniel smiled. "Because you're the reason I became the man I am. And because no one remembers the people who hold others up, I want to change that." News of the foundation spread fast. Martha was invited to speak at charity events. Her grace, wisdom, and humility moved millions. But Victoria wasn't done. She tried to undermine the project, calling it a publicity stunt and whispering rumors to the board. Daniel didn't waver. In a board meeting, he addressed it all. If investing in humanity is a weakness, then I'm guilty. But I'd rather stand with those who serve quietly, than those who scheme loudly. Victoria was removed months later after a separate investigation revealed financial manipulation. 3 years passed. The Martha Grace Foundation grew into a global beacon of hope. Retirement homes became wellness centers. Former maids, nannies, and caregivers found purpose and dignity. One winter afternoon, Daniel and Martha walked through a new facility in Brooklyn. Children played in a community daycare, while elderly women painted in the garden. Martha turned to Daniel, tears in her eyes. "I used to think I was invisible." Daniel gently replied, "You were never invisible. You were the light. I just finally opened my eyes." And in that moment, the boy who had once cried in her lap was now a man who helped the world see the unseen. True greatness lies not in how high we rise, but in how deeply we remember those who lifted us. When we honor the hands that shaped our hearts, we don't just change lives, we change the world.